I think every day as a club, I think we learn more. For example, we're learning the reason to be a bit more patient. And like I said, you have to give credit to who or where credit is due. So, for instance, with the transfer system, the way it's been changed at Manchester United last season, particularly, I think it's been one of our best windows so far, judging by the type of people that we signed, going for the people that I don't think we barely missed out on any targets, like Bar Baleba, which again, for some reason, I'm very thankful that we missed out on Baleba. And not just because of his recent performances, not because he's not been performing at the level that we saw him before, but the truth is that if we had not been patient, if we had dived in that market and spent that much money, I think we might have been regretting it by now, especially with the type of options which might, in quote, be available in the summer. And for a week could go about, I don't think there's any club ever that would be linked to as much players as Man United because they link us to every, and that's the truth. But the truth is that of all the names that I am hearing, the two names that I am most impressed about and I'm most interested in is Elliot Anderson at Forest and Sandro Tonali. Those are the two I'm very interested in. And I'm going to be very honest, I think they're a bit different when it comes to the type of football that they play. Elliot Anderson plays a bit more old school, brutish, defensive midfield type of setup. And I know he's progressive and he's strong, he's young, he's 23 years old. He's very strong, he's not as injury prone. He's not as a controversial. I think he's had 3 yellow cards this season. So there's that part of discipline there, part of the mix. But to be very honest, I don't know if he would be my choice. I would prefer a more Sandro Tonali type of defensive midfielder or type of midfielder regardless. Because I don't think if I'm Manchester United and I'm going for a player, I don't think I'm just going for, I want to get a defensive midfielder. I want to get someone that is going to be just making interceptions and winning balls back. And that would be a very good thing. If we can find someone like that, would be that player doing his job. Don't get me wrong. But if we can get a bit more in a player, a defensive midfielder, for instance, I'd use Martinez as an example. Martinez is a defensive, sorry, he's a defender, he's a centre back, but he's a centre back that you could almost use as a midfielder. So, point is, why not get a bit more out of a player as opposed to just getting a defensive midfielder who's just going to be a defensive midfielder? So, the idea for me or my preference would be to go for a more attacking type of, I don't know if this makes any sense, for a more attacking type of defensive midfielder. I would say Tonali would be my choice. I don't know. I think he has, and if we're looking at replacing Casemiro as well, I would prefer a more Tonali type of approach because I think he still has that trickery. Because when you're trying to replace a player like Casemiro, you're not just trying to replace what he brings to the team as opposed to winning balls back, interceptions, and stuff like that. No, that's not all you're trying to replace. You're trying to replace the aerial superiority that he gives. You're also trying to replace that trickery. Casemiro has that trickery where he knows when to go to ground. He knows when to commit a foul. He does know when to commit a foul. He's learned that, and also age wise, I think we are more suited to a player who's matured, who's now gotten into their prime. Don't get me wrong, signing a 23-year-old is always a good thing. It is always a good thing. I would not mind having Elliot Anderson in my team any day of the week. I love the boy. I love the way he plays football. I love the fact that he's very calm. But if we could get a bit more, and I think Sandro Tonali is that bit more, he has that bit more guile, that trickery, that being able to annoy opponents, being able to commit that foul. I like the way he plays football. And if it's available for just about the same, he's 25 years old, going into 26. He's probably going to be 26 in May, I think. So if we could get that, fine. But if not, I would still put Elliot Anderson in that team any day of the week. And for me, that would be ideal, to be honest. And this would basically drive Newcastle fans mad because I don't think they understand. And I don't want to sound mean and say understand their place in the food chain, but to be very honest, I think Newcastle fans don't really understand that we are Manchester United. I think if you went by the things they said during the Benjamin Sesko thing when we're trying to bid for the player and they were putting the bid as well. If you saw all they were saying, it was more of, nah, there's no way we could lose a player to Manchester United. And it kept happening. They consistently kept losing their targets to Manchester United. But now it would be a bit different because now it's more likely that they're going to lose a player because Tonali's agent, I think I saw a statement by Tonali's agent saying, "Oh, that they're gonna see what Newcastle are gonna say at the end of the season, this and that." But that is talk of I want to get out of here. I want to explore something more. I want to see something different. That is that talk of a player who wants to do something a bit different, who wants to see a bit more. So I think we're more than capable to offer him that bit more. But the truth is that I would definitely take a Sandro Tonali every single day of the week. And I know also don't I know there's a Adam Wharton. I know there are other players, but to be very honest, I don't see them. I don't see. I don't. It's either for me for that defensive midfield. It's either a Tonali if it's available and if the price is reasonable, or Anderson. That's it for me. And then we could then look at other positions. But for that Casemiro position, it's either the two. I can imagine either of them pairing with a Mainu and then a Fernandez in front of them. It would be incredible, to be fair. It would be something, I don't know, it would just be people's nightmare. Because there would be solidity, there would be fluidity, there would be creativity, there will still be that brutishness about them. So I am up for this. And I don't think Newcastle fans are going to like it. But either way, we're not here for what they're going to like.